So this is a question from Tani, and it's a very, very interesting question. So the question basically is, her supplier has come back to her. So second order, her supplier has said to her, hey, my costs are going up. I've got to pass that cost on to you. Therefore, I've got to put the price of the products up by 10%. This happens all the freaking time, like all the time. And so I wanted to talk through some situations where this is a complete rip-off so that you can understand if your supplier, wherever that may be, China, Vietnam, wherever it is actually ripping you off, or it's a legitimate thing, okay? So one of the things that Tani said here is that the supplier has said, because she is paying in dollars and their dollar to renminbi price has changed, fluctuated, she's got to pay more. So the first thing you should always do is go and look at that fluctuation, because currencies do fluctuate, and you'll see actually it's only fluctuated by 1 cent. So it's gone from 1 yuan, gone from 14 cents to 15 cents. So hardly a big spike for a Chinese supplier to start charging you more. That's the first thing to recognize. Second thing to recognize, your supplier in China, I'm just going to talk about China because this is in truth where it happens most. Your supplier in China does not buy their stock in US dollars. They pay in renminbi, okay? So if they're saying, oh, my costs have gone up, that's bullshit. Their costs have not gone up. What's happened is the exchange rate between the US dollars and renminbi has gone up. They are used to getting paid in US dollars, therefore they're getting less renminbi for that. But as I've shown you already, it's hardly anything. Like it's 1 cent different. So to put your price up by 10% is just flagrant ripping you off, okay? So that's the first thing to recognize. Second thing to recognize, if they don't use that and they often come to you and say, my cost for my particular product has gone up, then let me show you how to deal with that. So most people, when they think of a factory, they actually think of a factory that's actually making the product, like this, for instance, where you can see they've got all this machinery and they're punching out blanks and things like that. That's a mold for an injection molded piece of plastic thing. That's what most people think of. But in actuality, this is what most Chinese factories are like. They're more like assembly lines. So people are not, for the most part, for most factories where you're buying stuff from, they're not producing the stuff themselves. They're assembling it and then selling it to you, okay? So that's how that works. So if you've got a product like this, for instance, that you're selling with multiple different elements to it, so there's the lid and there's the handle on the lid. Well, that's two different factories for that. There's the screws that are being used there. There's the blank that's been cut out of what looks like aluminium. There's the dial on top. All those disparate parts will come from different factories. So there may be, for that one product, 20 different factories involved. And then what happens is your factory where you're purchasing from will assembly that. So take all those disparate components, assemble them into your finished product, okay? That's how it works 9 times out of 10. It's extremely rare that you're buying things from a factory directly like this, okay? That's rare. For the most part, you're buying from a factory like this, which is really an assembly line. So, when a factory tells you that their cost has gone up by 10% and they want to pass that on to you, typically that's BS. Typically what's happened is one element of the product that they are buying, of the stock they're buying to create your product for you, has gone up. So the handle, for instance, on top of this particular product, pizza oven, may have gone up in price by 10%. So the factory where they buy the stock from may have put their price up by 10%, okay? But that does not mean a 10% overall increase in their prices. It means that specific thing, that handle that goes on top of the lid, has increased in price. Big difference, okay? And you can imagine the factory in China maybe pays what, 5 cents each for those. So if a 10% increase means it's now 5.5 cents instead of 5 cents. So you should not be paying 10% overall. It's just a tiny proportion. So always ask what specific component has gone up in price by 10% of the components that are used to create my actual product. So act like you know what the hell you're talking about, and you'll find that they won't be able to bullshit you, because all the products don't go up. That's just crap. An element of the product goes up. That's believable, okay? So there's that. Now, having said that, there are times, for instance, like this. So if you're just buying a product from a supplier in China that's just got one single thing to it. So it's this like rolling pin made out of aluminium, for instance. Well, clearly, if that goes up, the unit cost of the actual product, the billets that are used for the aluminium, then they pass it on to you. But their price, again, if they're spending $1 to buy that stuff in, and they sell it to you for $5, then a 10% increase for them is 10 cents. A 10% increase for you is 50 cents. So you should only be paying 10 cents more, not 50 cents more. Hope that makes sense, okay? Factories do this all the time, and if you understand how a factory actually works, you can see through that bullshit and make sure that you are actually paying what you should be paying for a product. This is what most factories look like. They don't look like that. They don't look like that, for instance. They look like that, assembly lines. It's a huge difference between those two things. Hope that makes sense, and I've explained that in such a way that you get it. Hey, Neil here. Just before you go away, that was a question that I got asked on my regular Monday night Q&A session, which I have with the members of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. So if you're interested in joining us as an Aussie Online Entrepreneurs, then you can click on the link below to find out a lot more about that. And also, as a special thank you for watching this video, I've got a great book that I want to give you for free. It's a current bestseller on Amazon, and it teaches you everything that you would need to know about starting a business here in Australia on Amazon. So you can see that just up there. So if you'd like to get a copy of that for free, then again, just click on the link below and you'll get a copy of that. You'll get taken to a page where you can get a copy of that for absolutely free. Hope you enjoyed that little snippet from one of my Aussie Online Entrepreneur Q&A sessions, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel and also like this video. And if you've got a question that you would like answering, then post it in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer it, whether on one of these videos for you or directly in the comments directly below. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time on the next of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs Amazon FBA Australia videos. See you soon.